Hey guys, back for another, just doing some more practice of some chemistry problems. But I know you guys need jokes. Some of my favorite students are sitting in my class right now. They want to hear these jokes too. Okay, they're not that good, I'll tell you. What do you get if you try and cross a mouse with a skunk? Dirty looks from the mouse. Not very good. Did you hear about the fight in the fish shop last night? Two fish got battered. I can do better. I'll do better next time. Those weren't the best ones. Okay. So what we're doing is we are now doing problems where we're given the name, go to the formula, and we did kind of rush through some problems in class today. So I want to pick back up with that. So I'm going to be on this worksheet right here. This is what is due, and it says at the top, write the chemical formula. And also just to review, remember what's going on next week. So what's Monday, Tuesday, this is the reading. That worksheet's due, and the only problem from the book is number 50, and you can omit, which means don't do H and I. And then we'll have quiz, and then we're going to do lab is the main thing we're going to do. And then on Wednesday, Thursday, the test chapter 5 is due, and there's 2 reviews. And if you weren't in class, I posted those both on Canvas and on my website, so you guys can get those. Okay, so what we're doing now is we're being given the name, write the formula. So what I said in class, what you want to do is you want to look for a prefix. Okay, so if there's a prefix, then those are the easier ones. So when there is a prefix, and again, this is much fewer of these, but when there is a prefix, there's no crisscross of the charge. Simply the prefix tells you the subscripts. So the prefix gives you the subscript. Okay, anything else that does not have a prefix, which are going to be all the ionic ones and the acid and base ones, those are the ones where you have to look up the charge and you crisscross their numbers. Okay, so we'll do some of both. So I'm on, again, this handout, which is due on Monday, Tuesday, and I'm going to start on the bottom. Okay, and I'm just going to kind of I'm going to do quite a few of them here, kind of give you an idea. So number 54, sodium chromate. So there's no prefix. There's no prefix. So that means that I need to look up the charge. And so this is where we're going to use the periodic table. So I'm going to look up sodium, which is charge is a 1. And then chromate, I'm going to go back here. And chromate, I got to look up, I think it's a 2. I should know this. It is. So I've got sodium, its charge is a 1, and chromate, which is a 2. And then I'm going to cross those over. That's this category right here does not have a prefix. So then I look up the charges and I crisscross them over. So what I get for 54 is Na2CrO4. No prefix. Okay, 53. Now, whenever we see a Roman numeral, now it's kind of nice because that tells us the charge. So when it says iron 2, that means Fe is a 2. And then acetate is one I ask you to memorize, but it's also back here. They actually write it out different. I always write acetate like this. And this is one thing, I told you back when we were doing the opposite way, when you were given the formula, write the name, is put the polyatomic ion in parentheses, and it's never wrong to do that. This time, though, you have to because you're going to have a 2 outside here. So we're going to get Fe, C2, H3, O2, 2. Okay, so that's 53. 52 is another one with a prefix or with a Roman numeral. So again, no prefix. So that means I got to look up the charge. So this is iron 3, and then acetate, which is a 1. And again, you need the polyatomic ion in parentheses. So if you cross those over, what you get is Fe. And again, this time you have to have you have to have the acetate in parentheses because you have that lowercase 3 out there. Again, no prefixes. Okay, the next one, 51, lead 4 chromate. So again, there's no prefixes. So lead 4, and again, now it's kind of nice with a Roman numeral because that tells us the charge, and then chromate is a 2. And again, you need this in parentheses, so you crisscross this over. And if you write it like this, I would give you credit for that. I'd give you credit for that. But technically, the 2 and the 4, if it's one of these non-prefix compounds, if you can simplify it, you should. So this becomes PbCrO4-2. And most people that know chemistry, this would be the right answer. I wouldn't take off for this, but when you guys do the test next week, this is the way it's going to appear on the test. Okay, again, still no prefixes. Let me do a couple more, and then I'll do some with prefixes. Let me skip up to number 47. Iron 3. So that, again, no prefixes. That means iron's a 3. Chlorate, and again, you guys can go back here and you can look up chlorate. Now, hopefully you got it memorized, but if you don't, you can look it up. Or if you just go, man, I can't remember the charge on that, you can look it up. So if I cross that over, what I get is FeClO3. Okay, and then I have one, again, still no prefix, 46. Potassium phosphide. So again, I'm using the periodic table, no prefixes. So I look up potassium. Potassium is a 1. Phosphide is talking about just phosphorus by itself, not a polyatomic ion. Oops. So 1 and 3. So if I cross those over, I get K3P. 45. Now here's one with prefixes. So when there's prefixes, then I don't have to look up the charges. I don't have to crisscross. So this is one where there are prefixes, no crisscross of the charge. So for 45, dinitrogen trioxide would be N2O3. So when there's prefixes, I think they're easier because then you don't have to look up the charges. 44 is another one of those. Carbon tetra. Tetra is a prefix. Fluoride, so it'd be CF4. Okay, and then 43, again, no prefixes, so I'm going to have to look up the charge. So I've got calcium, which is a 2, iodine, which is a 1, so we get CaI2. Okay, hopefully that helps a little bit. You guys, I'm hoping that we're going to try the rest of this handout. We'll go over this, and we'll kind of we'll wrap this up. We're done with the chapter, and then we'll do that lab, and we'll get ready for that test. And then over Thanksgiving, I'll give you a little bit over Thanksgiving, but also Thanksgiving can be hopefully mostly a break from chemistry, but maybe if you give me an hour or so over Thanksgiving. So, hey, that's it. I will talk to you soon. Bye.